Hello, I'm Don Hammock, Sports Information Director at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Bulldog Blitz after a 25-5 win over number 19 East Central. We'll talk with Coach Jack Wright and a couple of his players while we take a look at some highlights. Later in the show, we'll introduce you to Shelvin Hudson, a sophomore defensive lineman. And last on the show, we'll meet new Gulf Coast baseball coach Wes Thigpen. He'll tell us about himself, his background, and talk to us a little bit about the 2020 Bulldogs and what they're doing in fall ball. Stick around. On the field with head coach Jack Wright. Jack, a 25-5 win. I don't think anybody ever thought winning the South would be easy. This is another step in this direction, and it was hard tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, winning the South's never been easy. You're right. I've got some friends that coach in the league. They played East Central this year. They've been very complimentary. I knew it would be a tough game.
You guys, let's start with the defensive side of the ball. You held them to under 100 yards rushing, 100 yards passing again. What did you see out of that gang tonight?
Defense rose up. They were in bad field position. Offensively, a couple of times we put them in a bad spot, and they came through. They never give up a touchdown. And so considering where they were on the field a few times, that's very impressive.
5 points, a field goal, and then the safety charge against the offense is a great night for that defensive group. Your offense, you wound up with 463 total yards. You ran for 260. What did you see running the ball from you guys tonight?
Inconsistent, but we got chunk runs, especially in the open field, that flip field position. And in a game like this, I think those were really huge. You got to give a lot of credit to our offensive line because East Central came in here determined to crowd the box, make things extremely difficult for us. As you saw, our answer was to try to take some shots deep, and we just didn't hit those, for whatever reason. So even with all the bad looks up there, we were still able to pound out some tough yardage. The offensive line gets a lot of credit, but you saw tonight how hard the running backs ran too. I mean, there were a lot of times they had to make a guy miss to gain 3 or 4 more yards. So really the O-line and the running backs, I think, really played really well in tough conditions tonight.
I think you still averaged 5 yards a carry running the ball. Like you said, there were some chunks. I thought tonight offensively might have been the most frustrated you guys were. You couldn't really seem to get anything going, even though you get 25 points up on the board.
Right.
Is that what you kind of saw too?
Yeah, I mean, what they were doing is they just made their mind up that they were just going to put everybody in there in the box and squeeze us and make us throw over the top. And so, our mindset is to attack that. But we just didn't do it. I think we hit, 1 or 2 in the red zone. We hit the corner route to Bracy in the red zone. And then we hit the freeze play to Hester down in the red zone too. So we wound up scoring a couple of touchdown passes, but there was nothing consistent through the air. Really nothing consistent all night, run or pass. But I think, the times we were able to get in the open field, our athletes made a little bit something extra.
Dimitri Hester had that nice catch kind of on the right middle side of the field and cut it all the way across and got a touchdown too for y'all.
Yep.
You guys are 4-0 in the South. You've got it all in your hands now. What does that mean for you guys?
After tonight, I think there's a little bit of a breathing room. We need to finish strong on the last 2 games. But being 4-0, if you kind of look at the landscape of the South, that does give us a really good chance of being in. And so now, hopefully, we can really kind of lock in on the long term. Let's get us geared up for a playoff run now. Let's get our guys healthy. It'll be another 6 weeks if this thing gets extended like we hope. But we've got a conference game next week. We've got a rival game next week. When you're wearing the number 1 on the back of your jersey, you're going to get everybody's best shot. We get Pearl River's best shot anyway, and it's only going to be amplified now, with the rankings being like that.
Y'all said this week you weren't going to talk about being number 1. We mentioned it that it was probably going to happen last week. You got anything to say about it now?
Yeah, I told the players, I said, look, we're not number 1 till after the game Thursday. And so I said, look, let's talk about it on Fridays and Saturdays. If you want to go home and talk about rankings with your friends, that's a great thing. But when we come back on Sundays to go to work, the rankings do not matter. The only thing that matters is the next opponent. So I think, for the next 48 hours, you may get a comment or 2 out of us. We'll have some fun with it. But come Sunday, we're going to lock back in on Pearl River and try to finish strong at 2-0. But I've said it over and over, Don, we have a really, really good group of kids. We work those guys extremely hard. They respond in a positive manner every single time. And when you win like this and have success, it's kind of a verification that hard work pays off. And so, moving forward, that gets a little bit easier.
I'll tell the TV stations to catch you in the next 48 hours for a comment about the rankings.
Yeah.
We'll give them one this time.
There you go.
Thanks a lot, Jack. Congratulations.
Thank you, Don.
We're here on the field with Austin Bolton, the sophomore running back from Poplarville. Rushed 21 times for 157 yards tonight. Austin, what was working for y'all offensively running?
Man, first of all, I got to give God the glory. But, I never give myself the credit. The offensive line did great. Open them holes for me and the running backs to get through. All around, great job, offense and defense.
You guys put up 25, held them to 5. What did you see from the defense tonight?
Man, they was rolling. You got to give it to the defensive line, linebackers, DBs, man, they were playing hard. We worked all week in practice to stop their D, and they did. We stopped them. They didn't score with field goal and what it was?
Safety, yeah.
Yeah.
This might have been the most frustrated the offense was tonight. You still had 463 yards, but it seemed to come in kind of fits and starts. What were they doing to make things difficult for you?
Well, like number 50 on the edge, he was pressing down real hard, so we had to adjust it in halftime. So, we had to just start bouncing it out and get some yards. That was the only problem on
This means you're 4-0 in the South. What does that mean for you guys?
Feel great. We got to keep focused and staying on track. We ain't going to, like I said in the interview, we ain't going to just all that outside stuff, just stay focused.
All right, Pro River next week. You got a little motivation.
Hometown. I'm ready.
All right, congratulations, Austin.
Appreciate it.
On the field with TJ Ficklin, a sophomore defensive back from Pelahatchie. Guys held them to under 200 yards. They didn't get an offensive touchdown tonight. What did y'all do tonight defensively to get them stopped?
We really just played as a team and stuck together and really just fought it out. We knew we had each other at the end, and we just had to grind it out. Sometimes it come to games like that.
The regulators, you call yourself. What does being a regulator mean for you guys?
It's really just a family. We call ourselves regulators, but we really just family. It's another term for family. We work hard together. We pray together. We do everything together, and it all come to this. We got to perform every time we touch this field.
Y'all's offense tonight was maybe a little more frustrated than normal. They still had almost 500 total yards. What did you see out of them tonight?
They just really just pushed through and did all they could. Sometimes the offense struggled, sometimes the defense struggled. It just the other side got to pick the other side up, and that's what we did tonight.
You guys are 4-0 in the South, still undefeated. What does that mean for y'all?
It just means that we got to keep going game by game and keep working hard, and every game is going to be a tough one, but we got to make it through.
All right, TJ, congratulations. Have fun tonight. Shelvin Hudson is a force rushing off the edge on the field. Let's learn more about Shelvin Hudson.
I started playing football back when I was junior high school. I thought I was gonna be next LeBron James. So most of the people was like, "Man, you need to play football. You need to play football." So then junior high Coach Murphy came to me one day in school. He was like, "Man, I need you on the team. Come try out. You might love it." And I really been playing football since then. Been in love with the game. Just how I can just unleash lots of energy. Sometimes I have a lot of stress built up, and I just find football as a stress reliever. Gulf Coast, who wouldn't want to come to Gulf Coast? It's a nice place, nice facilities. Coach Schufeld, the coaching staff, all of them are just great. They treat you like family, treat you like you're their son. The line, I don't see no O-line blocking us. We're big up front, strong, tall, speed, all the above, whatever. We got everything a D1 coach could want. Well, some of my close D-line friends like Jamie Sheriff, Tylen Jones, and Trey Lawson, ever since day one, we all bonded. We've been friends since then. Student life here is very good. People you might not even know come up to you, talking to you, friends, everything, even in classrooms. In class, if people need help, you ask anybody for help. They'll help you out. They don't mind. Everybody on the campus is like family, really. My favorite class is Dr. Louis, A&P. I love learning about the body. So my major, I want to major in pre-pharmacy, so like my mom, sister, all of them are in the medical field, so I find it interesting, and so I want to get involved in the medical field. Our expectations are to win it out and win a national championship. We just got to work hard every day, keep our composure, and stay humble. Our offense comes straight out from the door. Bust them in the mouth, running, passing. We got everything you can need in the offense. In my free time, I like to go home, chill with my brother. Me and him might go hit the field sometimes, train him up. He's 11th grade in high school, so play DN also, so I find it kind of cool to be able to teach him some of the stuff I'm learning now in college. One of my hobbies is playing Fortnite, playing the video game, man. I feel like I'm a game freak.
The entire Gulf Coast defense was a Primerica player of the game against East Central. The Regulators held the Warriors to under 100 yards rushing and passing, piling up 9 tackles for loss and 3 sacks while pilfering 2 interceptions. Primerica is committed to helping Main Street families save and invest for their short-term and long-term goals, providing life insurance and investment opportunities through mutual funds, managed investments, annuities, and business retirement plans. Contact Mike Landrum to learn more about Primerica at 601-268-0805 or at primerica.com/mlandrum, or contact your local Primerica office. Congrats to the Regulators, tonight's Primerica player of the game. Baseball coach Wes Thigpen has hit Ferris Field running. Let's meet Wes and talk about his team.
Guy that comes from South Louisiana, grew up a little bit outside of New Orleans. Was recruited by several different places and ended up landing on Meridian Community College. A guy by the name of Chad Kaye kind of got me there, who coached at Southern Miss for a long time and is now at Texas A&M University. And then from Meridian, went on to Mississippi State, played for John Cohen for 2 years, and Butch Thompson, Nick Mingione, Lane Burroughs, a lot of great coaches. Had the opportunity to play for those guys, and it was a great opportunity. From there on, got to play a little professional baseball with the Tigers, a little short stint for 2 years. Once we moved on from there, decided I want to get into coaching, so I reached back out to that coaching staff at Mississippi State, and I'm looking for a graduate assistant opportunity. I was able to land one, luckily, with those guys, and once I got there, kind of hit the ground running. I was fortunate enough; they gave me a ton of responsibility, and it really helped me grow. That's for sure. And then my first job was at Hines Community College. Sam Temple took a chance on a young guy who was looking for an opportunity in coaching, and I was a pitching coach there for only 1 year. Short stint, and then Chris Kirtland down at Jones gave me a call after they won a national championship, and Christian Ostrander left, and he's looking to fill the role of a pitching coach, and he stumbled upon me, and I got there, had a great experience with Coach Kirtland and that staff at Jones, and now I've ended up here at a great place in Mississippi Gulf Coast, and excited about this opportunity. Just kind of, I guess, being in this league for several years, I've played in it, and now coached in it, looking at this job from afar. You know, it's a great area. It's close to home for me and my family. But man, the talent on the coast is very great. This administration has been great to me as soon as I got here. And it's just, you know, from the outside looking in, it's always been one of those jobs that, man, I'd go after. And it's been an incredible experience ever since. Definitely a young team offensively. That's for sure, replacing 9 out of 9 starters that started every day for us. They had a great offensive club the last 2 years Coach Batts had. And, you know, we come in with a veteran pitching staff, though. We were returning, you know, our best arm from last year in Dawson Hall. Came in, I think he won 9 or 10 games last year, and we look at him to anchor the pitching staff for us. But we're very young on the offensive side. There'll be a lot of new faces, a lot of young guys, and we're kind of trying to find out our identity on offense and what type of offense we're going to play. But hopefully that pitching staff can anchor us down with pitching and defense, and you know, that'll be probably our mainstay this year before we learn our identity on the offensive side of the ball. Dawson Hall, better known as Bubba, I guess you could say. He throws a really, what we would call a heavy fastball, a high spin rate type guy, and you know, gets a lot of swing and miss on his fastball, and that gets him deep into games. You know, he throws a lot of strikes, and he gets the ball rolling with that fastball. Then he has some off speed that's come a long way, I think. You know, since his freshman year, a breaking ball and a changeup that he just needs to keep getting confidence in, and which will help him, you know, go further and further in his career. Recently, we had one of our sophomore pitchers, and Tyler Hoffman. He just committed to Tulane University, and he's been up to 93 this fall. It's been very special. He's learned a new slider I think he likes a lot. And I think, you know, a lot of scouts are starting to look into him a little bit, and we look at him to have a better year, you know, really limit his walks, and I think he's going to have a better year for us and a big year. Then looking at, you know, the return of Hayden Robb, Hopefully he's coming off an injury right now. He's just finishing up his Tommy John rehab protocols, and it's already looking really good. The ball's coming out really easy. We look at him to play a big role for us, that's for sure. And we got some relievers coming back, and Justin Lockie and Darby Gilbert, who really have shown the ability to throw out of the bullpen. I think Lockie has the ability to really bridge the gap to get to Darby on the back end, who has a little more swing and miss stuff, whereas Justin Lockie can roll a lot of ground balls and really get you through those middle innings if you need to. We have an exciting kid named Antoine Harris, comes to us from Chalmette, Louisiana. A kid that's highly touted out of high school. A lot of scouts really like him. He's been up to 94 in high school. He comes to us as, really a raw athlete. And he's really special one to coach. He's been awesome. He's already seen a lot of growth in his strength and really a high ceiling for him. We're excited for him to be one of our 4 starters and really get out there and get through this league. So Matt Delano is a freshman that's coming into us from Biloxi High School, a coast guy we're really excited about. He's got the it factor, I call it. He's got that competitive edge on the mound, where his stuff plays up. The guy's a winner. It's proven through his high school career with a great career at Biloxi High School, and comes with us with a good breaking ball. We can see him, possibly one of those 3rd or 4th starters, but really like his attitude on the mound, maybe towards the back end of a game. Then we have another one that's a possibility on the back end of a game, a dual guy we have by the name of Connor Spencer out of North Mississippi. Throws a big breaking ball, gets a lot of swing and miss on that, and that's kind of the stuff you like to see on the back end of a ball game. So hopefully between those 2 guys and Darby Gilbert, we can figure out who is on the back of that game, and whoever's left out might be that 3rd or 4th starter for us. We have several catchers right now. I know 2 have kind of stuck out to me this fall, and Louis Morgan and Tucker Thomas. Tucker Thomas comes to us from Hines Community College, where he played a little bit. Mostly played some outfield, but really strong catcher. Another guy at Biloxi High School. He's done a really good job with receiving. He's a strong kid. He'll have a presence in the middle of our lineup as well. So it's a guy that we really expect a lot of at the plate. So Tucker will probably catch one end of a doubleheader, then possibly Louis Morgan on the other end. But both of those guys, offensively and defensively, have taken leaps and bounds this semester, and we look for a big impact from both of those at the plate and also behind the plate. A lot of new faces on the infield, that's for sure. One returning sophomore who's done a good job so far this fall, especially with the bat, is a guy by the name of Nick Sims. High energy guy, plays the game the right way. Don't know where to fit in at short or second. Probably our leadoff type hitter. He's hitting a little over 500 this fall for us, so he's been a spark plug for us when it comes to that. We have another one by the name of Dawson Walters, comes to us from Tri-County Academy. Really like his actions on the infield. Kind of been up and down at the plate for us, but we really expect big things for us at the plate with him. And between him and Nick Sims, you would think one of them would play short and second. We'll see how that works out. We have a great competition going on at shortstop for us this fall. Then we have few guys that could fall in anywhere from 3rd to 1st. They kind of been bouncing back and forth. We have a transfer in Evan Keith from East Central, who's a great team leader, one of the toughest kids I've ever coached. He's a little banged up right now, whether he plays 3rd or 1st. He's a little bit on the mound for us, just kind of see where he falls, but really like his leadership and his ability at the plate and in the field as well. Then a couple guys that you don't know where to fit in, but I think they'll play a role for us, and Ethan Coleman and Chase Jones. Just kind of when their bats come along, that'll tell a lot for us. But man, they're all working hard. We're proud of them, and we're gonna keep pushing them. That's for sure. So outfield, we have a returning sophomore in D. Hawthorne. Man, a really, really talented kid that we expect a lot out of. Whether it's center, right, or left, it's kind of to be told on his defense more so than anything. We know the bat's going to play. He's a guy, probably had the most at bats of the returning guys on our team. Saw a lot of time early. I think he got a little banged up late. A little hurt, so we expect a lot of things out of him. Hit 7 homers last year on this team, so we expect him to be a mainstay in the middle of that lineup. A really impact player for us as a sophomore, especially coming back and not having much experience. We expect a lot out of him. Then Tucker Thomas will probably get some time in the outfield as well. One of our more athletic kids that we mentioned as a catcher. He can play a little center field for us. He can really run, and he might, be more that corner outfield type mold, so we can keep his bat in the lineup. Then we have a couple young guys that can really run. And Kanan Ray and Cameron Gray. Those 2 guys are really competing out in center field as well as D, and you would expect those guys to play at one of those 3 positions. And then PJ Harrison comes to us, man, just a gritty, competitive kid that just gets the job done. It's an exciting kid to watch because he plays the game the right way. He's bought into our culture, and it's really been fun to watch him get after it, especially at the plate. Luckily, got a guy by the name of Cody Livingston to come on board with us when I got this job. He's a guy out of Northwest Rankin High School. Played at Southern Miss for 5 years, had a little injury to where he redshirted for one. Also was a GA there for a year, finishing up his master's, then went on to Arkansas Little Rock and worked for a guy by the name of Chris Curry. He's an awesome guy in this world, and did an incredible job there, and luckily we stole him away, and so far he's hit the ground running as far as recruiting. Our camp coordinator, he's really done a great job. Very organized. We really think alike, we click, and our baseball minds are, we expect the same thing out of our guys each and every day, and really excited about him and running our offense and coaching third base. Chase Scott comes to us from University of North Alabama. He was actually Cody's teammate at Southern Miss, played at Chipola, a guy that can really teach the swing. He's a cage rat. He gets in there with our guys and really hones in with them and works the technique and the mechanics of what we're trying to do at the plate, not only physically but mentally as well. Then a guy by the name of Jonathan Parker I brought here with me. He actually played for me at Jones. He was on a national championship team. So he's played in this league. He's won a championship in this league. And we really clicked since he was a player. He was a catcher and I was a pitching coach, and we've always been on the same radio path, and knows what I'm thinking before I say it. And he's a guy that I really wanted to reach out to and get in here, and he's done an incredible job with our catchers. He's also helping me with the pitchers, and I think we've really clicked and really done a good job with this coaching staff. Really young staff that we're excited about, bringing energy every day, and I think our guys have appreciated that from the start. Definitely, having been in this league last year and kind of seeing who was freshman heavy last year, you usually see kind of who's going to be really good in the following year. And I think, towards the top, there'll be the Pearl River and the Jones just returning a lot. And I think Hines is returning, 90% of their team as well. So I think those three are on top. I know a lot of the northern teams, they lost a lot of their roster last year, but, they do a good job up there and rebuild. But just knowing more about the South and their recruiting classes, I know those three schools are going to be really good and should be in the mix towards the top. Our expectations right from the get-go are going to be to win a championship in year one. That's always the goal. It's the thing we talk about in practice every single day, and we are working to achieve. And I think anything short of that will be a little bit of a letdown. But getting these guys to buy into our culture and to do the little things the right way and everything we're teaching them and how important that is, I think it's going to go a long way. That's for sure. I think we have a very talented team, and I think a championship is very, very attainable.
Join us next week when Gulf Coast takes on our rival Pearl River at ALMA Memorial Stadium in Perkinston. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.